you can get them for cheaper now than you used to. Than you used to. This is the smallest hit and miss engine that I think you can get anywhere, and I know I have a lot of hit and miss engines, and as I've said, I think that hit and miss engines are a great prototype for models because they have very low wear characteristics, and therefore when they're cheaply made, they still run and still are going to be pretty reliable. They're not going to overheat, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get this going. The key to getting this to have huge happy miss cycles, first of all, I have changed the angle here. So you can see there's a little notch there. I've basically changed the angle from this to this, and that means when that is in, the face against, the face of the latch against this latch stop is flat like that. Otherwise it wants to move one way or another, and you get a kind of a wiggling here, and that prematurely pops this out, pops the latch out, and so you get a shorter miss cycle. You can spin this around, that's the stop, the latch stop, and you can spin this around, the little brass end. You want to get this so there's almost no play in it, and that's going to help your exhaust valve stay as open as it possibly can in the miss cycle, and that means you're going to get good efficient breathing and you're going to get a long miss cycle. There's another reason why you want to do that actually. You want to move this stop, and can you see it? You can see it's loose, but you want to move this so that when it latches, it's only got the tiniest of lifts every time the cam goes round. Now it needs to have a little bit of lift when that cam is going round, otherwise it might not pop out when speed is sufficiently slow. So we're going to have a combination of this in the right place to have that long. I've already tried to tighten up this by flat filing one of the faces. So there's a very, very small up and down wiggle, and a very, very small in and out wiggle. So I do need to take that off and improve that slightly. Every little thing like that, I mean, that's simple to do, and it will make it will make an improvement. So let's pop that back in. Okay, here we go. We just want it on the thread actually, we don't want it affecting the latch. That's probably enough. Right, we're just going to check that that can go under the latch. Okay, you can see it can go under the latch. That needs to be really, really close to there. Right, we're going to try that. So let me just pop that in. No, that's too much. We need less than that, about there. Try that. So if we look at this end, we want this to be hardly moving. latch in. Here we go. No, so we need more. Yeah, okay. So now we need to dry it. I might get a blow dryer to do that. So again, we want the minimum of movement on that. That needs to be able to go in. Yeah, tiny bit of movement there. That goes in just fine and out. I can move that out if I need to. Right, let's try and get this thing going again. Now, I left it last night with petrol in it, which you should never do with these little engines because the petrol evaporates and the oil is left. And look what we've got. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can there. This is the oil. Yeah, so that's never going to start if I leave that oil in there. We need to get that out. I need to get some tissue paper. Okay, let's get that out of there. A lot of people talk about what the correct fuel to use is for these, and look, if all you have is petrol or two-stroke premix, then that's absolutely fine. This doesn't need a particularly high oil content. So sometimes these are so hard to get going after you've left the oil in them like that that you will need to use the drill start. We're going to find out if that's what we're going to need to do soon. So far I haven't had to use that drill start. Yeah, okay, so okay, let's see if we can get some petrol to come out of there. Yep, there it is. Okay, good. I'm going to put a bit of fuel in, straight in the carb. And this is just typical, if you've left oil in it, it just does not want to run. I'm going to get a little bit of petrol straight into there, a few drops. That is absolutely... Now, this is just a curious thing. People on the forums say, oh yeah, you know, the engineering forums, you don't want to have a model engine with a rubber ring instead of a metal piston ring because a rubber ring is always going to create more friction. Now, does that look like it's got a lot of friction to you? How cool is that? And that's how it's done. So if you have a look at the this is hardly wiggling at all. That means that this is going to spin around really happily. And I did that by getting this in the right place. That's the one we put super glue on. I'd already pulled this thing out to get that so that there was almost no play in there. I mean, jeez, I've actually even surprised myself. That's just running so beautifully. Let's zoom out. You hear that beautiful little clicking noise? Now with such a slow hit and miss cycle, we're really not going to be worried about heat here. It may not even need water in there. I've actually stuck oil in there. I can't be bothered with but that, I mean, that's pretty good. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. This engine is going for around $150 plus 60 postage. That's US. I hope you like what I've done, and you can see it's easy, like really easy to do. Very nice. Very nice. By the amazing voodoo magic of the internet, and it is magic, it's now tomorrow, a day even more gloriously beautiful than the day preceding it, yesterday. And I'm going to show you what this teeny tiny motor is capable of today. Guys, we're going to put a latch stop in this. So here's the latch, and we're going to thread that that very small screw into here to stop the latch going in further than I want. We have some absolutely tiny taps and dies here, and little drills. So yeah, I'm going to get on with that. It's going to be a bit hard to film. Currently we're finishing up on this hit and miss engine. As you can see, I've put a little switch and a little part on the valve rod. That switch yeah, there's a good view of it. That switch is going to make sure that in the miss, this is not firing. I've got, you know, one spring here, and the changes I've made to the dimensions of those parts. This has got a lovely miss cycle, but it was being marred, in my opinion, by the tick 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 of it firing when it didn't need to. So we're going to fire that up now. I am pretty much saying that this is complete now. That I've, you know, there wasn't much for me to do with this engine. I just wanted to have a play. The big news for my engines is that I was looking at the Engineer 10cc Whippet build, and when I looked at the price of that, and I started to think to myself, well, maybe I can get a real engine, a original engine, a vintage engine for that kind of money. And here in New Zealand you can, if you're careful, if you're patient. Big old engines, you know, hit and miss or just after, can be had for similar to money to what we're spending on these models. So I'm going to show you what I got. It's a 100-year-old engine with a governor. It's a side valve. A lot of fun. We're going to show you that in another video. Let's get this going, and I believe this will start really easily. So both these engines that I've got for very low money appeared with perfect main bearings, with next to no wiggle. The main shaft's straight, and the flywheels spin true. The valves are great. It wasn't that long ago where you had a bit of a toss-up when you were getting an engine from China. Was it going to have any compression? Was it going to have a wiggling, you know, bent crankshaft and a wiggling flywheel? Was it going to be tuned badly or hardly running at all? Was the ignition going to be dead? I mean, I haven't had any of those problems for about a year now. The engines coming from China are much better. They could still benefit from the kind of tweaking and tuning that I can do. And we're going to see where you can get an engine like this right now. Let's fill it up with fuel and see what's going on. So again, I use just standard car petrol with, oh gosh, you know, some two-stroke oil mixed in. Oh, the other thing, I put a a laptop hard drive rare earth magnet under here, right on the other side of this, and now my little tiger balm pot will just stay there collecting the crap that comes out of this. Right, let's start it. So we're going to put my finger over the intake to suck in a bit of fuel. I'm just going to check the yeah, that looks like it's got fuel in there. Yep, I can see that going up there. Well, that's a pretty good start. Now, how quiet is that? Because that switch is stopping the tick, 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 tick of the... I mean, that's... Look at that! Isn't that sweet? Let's just move the camera to get a bit of light on it. So that's where I'm at with this engine. I'm just going to get some oil. I'm obsessive about oil. Okay, main crank. Trying to get some up in the yeah, that's it really. There's not a lot needs to be lubricated, and it just starts so easily. What do you think of that, guys? Nice, huh? It's not spitting any oil out of the exhaust yet. Now, I'm not quite sure how cool that's going to run, but I think pretty cool. It's going to run very cool. I've just put a little bit of oil in here. I haven't bothered putting water in there. Yeah, we've got a drop of oil out of the exhaust now, and that's why that little pot is there, held on by the magnet. But what a great little engine for a kid. I mean, you can get it running this well. So well done, Gin. You know, Gin from Microcosm. Hey, okay, so guys, where did I get the little switch from? Inside of an old CD player. The bit of wood is off a... Ooh, let me see. And I know I didn't get it on straight, and that's frustrating me, but it's not worth taking it off just to straighten that up. You can see where that's come out of. Nice little flat bit of wood. Now, you hear that? We're just going to turn off that. That is the sound of the so I just move that slightly back. There we go. That was the sound of the spark plug sparking, and that's what I put that switch in there to stop happening. Very few mods. A little screw stop here to stop that going in farther than it needs to. I've adjusted stuff here, but not really anymore. And it is. Starring Chairman Meow, possibly the most epic cat ever to have shared my life. Thank you, Chairman Meow. This is Chairman Meow doing his celebrated snail yoga pose. It's now tomorrow, and today, which is tomorrow, I'm going to show you what this teeny tiny engine is capable of. Voodoo magic, voodoo magic, voodoo magic, voodoo magic.